I'm Erwan Davon.
I'm Alicia Davon, and we are here with you today because we want to tell you exactly how to have a soulful and sexy relationship. Whether you're in a relationship now or you're totally single, it's our passion to show you how to do that. So let me tell you about the Davon Method. The Davon Method includes 5 key elements to a successful relationship and key practices.
Now, the first element is being conscious of your relationship patterns, right? From my past, I was dragging all these relationship patterns from my family of origin into my relationships, into my friendships, into my romantic relationships, and they weren't working. So I had to get really clear on what we call your relationship blueprint. I had to get clear on my relationship blueprint. So the first element is getting clear about your relationship patterns so that they don't block you in your current relationship or your process of getting into a relationship.
Like, you ever go through a relationship and it ends the same way every time, or you're in a relationship and you find yourself having the same thoughts or the same complaints or the same thing that's out of reach or the same if they would only or if I could only. This is your relationship blueprint. The common denominator is you. So normally we're not aware of this at all. We're just being dominated by this. So the first element to having a successful relationship is bringing awareness to these hidden relationship patterns.
And you're freed up. So once you discover your relationship blueprint, you can make contact with who you really are. And that's the second element of our method. So whether you call it presence or consciousness or being or whatever word you like for that, to really be in contact with yourself at the deepest levels, right? That's required to have what we call an eternal date, a soulmate relationship, a relationship that reaches higher and higher peaks.
This is what a soulmate relationship is. Imagine having your future relationship or your current relationship living from your real self, you know, who you really are. So many people that come to work with us, they're like, I want to discover who I am. Imagine living in your relationships that way. So that is the second key element. Now, once you got all that going on, the third key element is chemistry, this coveted, sought after, yummy, yum. We all want a lot of that in our relationships, right? So unleashing the chemistry in masculine, feminine relationships. Now this can be man-woman relationships, man-man, woman-woman. There's a polarity of potential in our bodies to have so much chemistry.
Right? So chemistry is the number one complaint that people have around their romantic lives. We used to have chemistry, we don't now, or I can't find somebody I have chemistry with, or like that. So we get to the bottom of what chemistry is. Where do you find it? How do you create it? And how do you have more and more chemistry as the years go by? We've been together almost 2 decades. We have better chemistry now. Hopefully you noticed.
I know.
She noticed, that's what's important, right? Hopefully, now I'm like, she's fogged my brain, right?
Well,
we get to the bottom of chemistry, right? The bottom of that juicy, sexy, turned on experience that really is central to a romantic relationship.
Well, imagine not being victimized by chemistry. Like, it was there, now it's gone. Oh well, guess I have to find somebody else. Or there just wasn't chemistry. Imagine if you had your hand on the dial. Well, you can. The fourth element is what we like to call choreography. Dancing through the stages of relationship, moving through them successfully. Some of us are better at some stages than others.
Right? Like the first stage of relationship is getting into one. Some people are really good at meeting people and getting into a relationship. But then when it comes time to dating, sort of the relationship is becoming more steady, and maybe they lose it there. Or then there's the middle game of relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, right? That's a whole other set of skills. You have to be vulnerable and your communication skills are important. Whereas dating, it's really all about having fun, or meeting somebody. It's all about going out and getting attention and that kind of thing, or being able to give attention to somebody else. So different stages of relationship have different skills. We go through all of them until we get to an eternal date, which is really the holy grail of relationships. Sometimes people call it a committed relationship or a soulmate relationship. We call it an eternal date because it's got the date, it's got the sexy, but it's also eternal, it's also deep.
With these stages, imagine being really good at all of them. You know, like when I first met Erwan, I was like basically incapacitated when it came to dating and having fun and being loose and being casual. I was like, let's lock it down. It's serious right now.
I was the opposite. I was great at dating, and when it came time to diving in, I was terrible.
Yes.
So I learned to dive into a relationship, and Alicia learned to
loosen up.
To loosen up.
Have a good time and loosen up.
And you can tell
and
now she's very fun.
Yes. So this is the fourth piece, element of having a successful relationship, is being very skilled at all of them. You might be thinking, well, I've been married for 30 years. I don't need that early relationship stuff. You do.
Yeah.
If you want chemistry and fun, you do. The fifth element of the successful relationship is cultivation of your sexual potential. Don't forget about the sex. You know, for most people, that sexual attraction is what brought you together in the first place.
And it gets dropped out. You know, it really gets dropped out, and people miss it and they long for it, but mostly people don't know what to do about it. So we get to what to do about it in real, specific, practical ways. How do you get turned on? What are great sex positions? What is orgasm? What is extended orgasm? We get into all of that and more, including clearing out any history with sex and beliefs and thoughts that you might have that might be blocking you.
So those are the 5 elements, key elements of a successful relationship. So we go in depth into all of those in our programs. For those of you who are like, ooh, that was tantalizing, I'd like to learn more about that. Wait, did they say extended orgasm? Or like, yeah, I totally have some issues to sort out. Wow, I've been in these patterns for 30 years. Or, you know, things are pretty good, but I'd like to learn some new skills. I'm kind of dating, I want to find my partner. Or, yeah, you know, my wife and I really would love to do something like this. Or if you're in any of those categories or similar categories, here's what you do. Sign up for a Love Life Insight session with me. It's free, it's gonna be over Zoom, we can do it from anywhere in the world, and you and I together will dive into a critical issue for you, like whatever is of top concern to you in your romantic life and your sex life. And I will share all about our programs with you, what they are, how they work. You can jump into one if you'd like. We have all kinds of different programs. We have a weekly group coaching program called Mastery of Relationship. We have individual coaching. We have all sorts of stuff. There's a community and a social scene built around our work. So all you have to do is text me now, 415-308-9580. Text me now, and we will begin the journey.